Critics say recent attempted murder cases in Frederick County and Montgomery County highlight the need for stronger juvenile justice laws after both suspects were released. Gary Collins with Spotlight on Maryland looks into these cases and the calls for change.
State Senator William Folden, representing Frederick County, said he is irate after learning that two alleged juvenile offenders accused of multiple instances of violent crime are now back on the street.
If this current decision has any input on how this is going to be handled from moving forward, then even cautious optimism is fading.
Two teens, one age 16 and the other 17, allegedly shot at juveniles in a park in Montgomery County on August 6 of 2024. One day later, they allegedly did the same act in Frederick County. Due to state laws, we cannot identify the teen defendants due to their age.
Ever since the legislature passed the juvenile justice reform measures, they've done a lot to not allow for proper prosecution or accountability. And they've basically allowed for organized gang members and those that are in organized criminal activity to use juveniles as mules for their drugs and their guns because there's no accountability.
After being charged as an adult for attempted murder and various gun charges, the 16-year-old's case was referred to juvenile court. Sources say the teen was then immediately released from detention in February because of advocacy by the Maryland Department of Juvenile Services.
It's just another failure of the Department of Juvenile Services having accountability for these type of actions by juveniles, and it's also it's a reckless endangerment to our community.
Last week, on the same day a new DGS secretary took over, the alleged 17-year-old offender appeared again in juvenile court for a status hearing. Detention was again not recommended by DGS despite his removal from his home after a physical altercation, according to a source familiar with the case. Instead, the court approved for the teen to attend a summer camp in Pennsylvania. We took questions about the Montgomery County and Frederick County incidents, including the future of DJS, to Frederick County State's Attorney Charlie Smith.
I think the biggest issues is violent juvenile offenders. What we need to do is recognize that they pose an adult public safety risk, and yet they still are juveniles, and we need to rehabilitate them as such.
State's Attorney Smith said he feels that solutions to systemic issues like those faced by the teen is what he would call a blended approach.
Again, a blended approach would recognize that they are true public safety threats, carjackings, armed robberies, etc. But they need to be rehabilitated as youth because their minds and their brains are just not developed yet, and they're doing stupid things. Unfortunately, these stupid things are very violent.
With the teens allegedly members of the local M Block gang, we asked if juvenile crime may be organized.
Are you seeing that, gangs and organized criminal activity, your organized criminal groups are recruiting younger and younger and frankly exploiting how the laws of Maryland are written?
Absolutely. We've seen an exploitation of youth. I think youth and juveniles know that there is no real consequence to the repeat misdemeanor offender. They're not going to be subject to placement. They're not going to get removed from their home. They're really not going to have much of a probation. It's going to be closed out within a few months.
State Attorney Smith says his office has had a nearly 40% increase in violent juvenile cases, including the teens we mentioned. In Baltimore City, where Smith started his career, the increase is more than 80% since last year.
I think a lot of people in this day and age feel like, oh, we don't want juveniles to come into the criminal justice system. But in many ways, that's the best thing that could possibly happen to them because they have no families. Their truancy rate, I think the chronically truant rate in Baltimore City is over 50%. 20% of them never make it through high school.
Meanwhile, Smith and Folden both say that they're concerned the system is failing teens who are automatically released.
Ultimately, we're going to come to the realization that it's not about the crime, it's about the kid. And that a lot of times, the best chance for them to have a bright future is to remove them from the situation they're in.
The 17-year-old's father that we mentioned in this story denied our request today for an interview. Meanwhile, the Maryland Department of Juvenile Services spokesperson said that next week they'll try to schedule an interview with us. We'll be sure to keep you updated. I'm Gary Collins with Spotlight on Maryland.
Hi, I'm Maxine Stryker. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel and check out Fox Baltimore on social media to find more stories like this.